Let's see. Let me think about it. Actually, yes, let me think about it. I'm going to make a little point here. Alright, Washington. Washington is a fine city to settle the scientists because we're currently using a lot of water squares, so that means science coming in. So, nothing wrong with settling him here. However, when you get a great scientist, it's always worth considering if it's actually better off in the moment to use him to rush you a technology. For instance, for instance, times you'd want to use this when you're afraid somebody's going to beat you to a technology first. You can get ahead of the game by using the scientist to immediately research it, so you can get its bonus. Or let's say you're under heavy attack and they've got advanced units. It may be worth using him to get, say, if you were under attack, mass production out quickly, so that you could quickly rush a modern infantry unit so that your defenses would be stronger. Always something worth considering. And also, I don't think I've actually taken a look at the tech planner yet throughout all these videos, so let me just bring up a point to that. This shows you all the technologies in the game, all the way from alphabet, bronze working, horseback riding, and pottery, to the end where we can start researching globalization, superconductor, and future technology. Alright, now, so I'm going to take a look here. You see how some of these technologies have the number 1 next to them and others don't? That number 1, if it's on a technology that you currently have researched, means you were the first one to it. However, take a look at some of these gray technologies. Green being a technology I have researched. Gray, or unfilled, I guess, blue, being a technology I have not. They have the number 1 on them also. If they have a number 1, it means that you can research them at the moment, and no one else has gotten it yet. So use that to plan accordingly what technologies you want to get if your objective is to be the first to them. So take a look here at, say, religion. I got it, but Gandhi beat me to it because he gets it automatically at the medieval era. Democracy, Alexander starts the game with that. And literacy, code of laws, and mathematics, I was just beaten to by the other civs naturally, even though none of them get it automatically. They just beat me to it, because I was busy going for construction and irrigation at the time. Alright, but again, something to keep in mind. Always be aware of absolutely all your options. Once again, it's not what you have, it's how you use it. That makes all the difference in the world. However, in the moment, since we have an overwhelming advantage, let's boost that up a little bit by sticking auto in the city of Washington. Alrighty, and we're going to send the... I'm not going to pronounce that because I'm going to stutter too much over it. Let's send our riflemen into the boat. We're going to fortify you. You're going to fortify. And you know what? Just for the sheer fun of it, we're going to set you to the trees facing Gandhi. And we're going to continue to sail around the island and see what this mysterious patch of... Alright. Well, the fact that there has been a break in the culture tells me right away that there is indeed another city up here of Cleopatra's. Now I don't even need to visually see it to get confirmation. However, still worth finding out what it is, what it's got, and what it's capable of doing. So let's end the turn as we advance the year to the 1700s. If I recall correctly, hold on a second. Exalted One. Our wise men have discovered the secrets of railroad. Now we can build an iron mine. Okay. Whoa. Our civilization's the first to discover railroad. As a result, we receive this bonus. +2 production in each city. +2 production in each city. That is, again, another huge bonus that if you can be the first one to that, you go for it. Quite frankly, the instant you see railroad available and no one else has it, you go for it. That 2+ production is big because you don't even have to have anything on production, and you're going to get 2 coming in automatically per turn. And once you couple that with a factory, if you're with some other civ, and If you're any other civilization besides the Americans, once you add a factory into the mix, that +2 will become +4. And if you're the Americans like I am, that +2 becomes +6 per turn without doing anything. And I'd also like to keep in mind that I also got engineering earlier in the game, which gave me +1. So with that in mind, I'm getting +3 production in all my cities automatically without doing anything. Got it. So, great leader. What shall we research next? Let's take a look here. With all these in mind, let's see. I'm not too worried about increasing our military technology at the moment, especially since our target is Gandhi, who has yet to even discover democracy as far as we are aware. So, while those cannons would be useful, the time would be better spent researching, at this point, either communism or corporation. Why those two? Because of their bonuses. At about this point in the game, when you get into the 20s, or so with technology and the beginning of the modern era, being the first to a lot of technologies really starts to make a huge difference at this point. This is when they really start getting good bonuses, particularly communism and cooperation. So we're gonna go with communism first, even though that's a total contradiction in terms when it comes to the... Oh, sorry. Hit the mic. Even though communism is a total contradiction in terms when it comes to the Americans, even though I do believe we have a very small communist party that has yet to acquire any real power in real life, but ultimately communism and America, total contradiction. And we have a new rifleman, the King's Own Rifleman. Let's upgrade them. And let's see, I have March and Medic. Well, I don't like either of those choices, however, since I already have a March Rifleman, we're going to give these guys Medics. And actually, on the other hand, I suppose there is a bonus here, since he is about to invade enemy territory. Where the heck is the cruiser? There it is. Send him over there on the roads. And now we're going to merge the Riflemen to form the Royal Rifleman Army. And send this cruiser right to the city of Hyderabad. And we're going to disembark our units. And prepare for an attack. Interesting to note, because of my scout ability, I can tell he's only got 12 defense points in there. My knights have an attack power of 18, so I have an edge. And the fact that this cruiser is right here, adding 4 more, and it'll be 22 on 12 when we attack. However, Gandhi has a chance to preserve himself if he offers me peace on the next turn, because I am still in democracy. And something I just want to take a look up here. What is this? Okay, Gandhi's got a horseman up here. And I can tell you right now, where that horseman is, that's a good spot to build. Well, if it wasn't for the fact that Varanasi was here, it would be a good spot to build. Because Varanasi's going to make it harder to build on, because it would overlap. That's a good spot to build because it courthouses to these two well, which makes it an awesome food city. In addition to that, science is also pretty big. Alrighty. No, I've not been paying attention to King's Landing. What's been going on here? Well, we've got some bad news. Bismarck apparently built a city on the island right next to King's Landing, and he's occupying that whale, which really, really ticks me off. That's a darn shame. However, 370 gold, that's a lot of money. However, with me getting, as you can see, 70 gold per turn, aided by the +5 gold bonus per city from the industrialization, it's worthwhile. I can replace that. Oh, and this city's even better than I thought it was. Look at the top there. Apparently there's a fish resource up there in the very top by that ice that I had missed when I first built this city. Good to know. It's even better than I thought. Then we're going to set you to a workshop because we're going to put those 2 hills to use. And we shall... Yeah, and we shall end the turn of the first German tank army. Alright, ooh, and Gandhi has... Oh, what is this? Bismarck is threatening me again? Your expansionist greed will be your downfall. However, we will leave you in peace for 5 turns in exchange for 820 of your 885 gold pieces. Bismarck, last time we spoke to each other, which was only a few turns ago, you had no military strength compared to me, and now you're asking for my entire treasury? Get stuffed. I crushed you before, I'll crush you again if you try it. My presence embarrasses my cultured neighbors, and I must be destroyed. I find it ironic that you call yourself cultured, considering that I'm culture flipping one of your cities right now. So, bring it on. Just bring it. Then we have another rifleman army. Leadership. I forgot to... Actually, I meant to set that... I meant to change that back to factory at the end of the last turn. However, it might be wise to set him on course for Abydos. Let's see. I can't get close enough to the city without invading her territory, so we're going to have to go around. Interesting to note, there's still a barbarian village standing. Unusual for this part of the game, but not unheard of. And placing our first rifleman here has already paid off. Gandhi has had to take a roundabout route to make his attack. So, our horseman army is going to intercept. And win a flawless victory. And we can attack again. Let's do it. Why can we attack again? It's because the horseman's got 2 movements. And it attacked a significantly weaker unit. Alright. I'll get right back to that. Something about that, when a unit has a certain amount of attack advantage over the defending unit, after it attacks, if it still has movement, it can attack again. So the horseman can move 2 squares, and the game apparently thought that 2-to-1 odds was enough of an advantage to justify giving the horseman its remaining movement back. Or allow the horseman to use its remaining movement. However, once again, the horseman is in weak territory, so we're going to have to set the rifleman there to cover it, because I'd rather lose that single rifleman than the entire horseman army, because the rifleman is easy to replace. I don't like being so dismissive of my troops like that, but strategically speaking, it is the truth.